Hi, and welcome to another episode of Tiny Expat Experts. The tongue tie. Today I have another Dutch expert with me, Kelly. And Kelly is a real blessing to the group because she supports you if you've had a bad experience with the birth. Kelly, introduce yourself.
Yes, well, hi, I'm Kelly. I'm 34 years old. No? Did I say that correctly? 34, yes, I am. I live in the Leiden area and I support women who had a bad birthing experience or a bad experience within the pregnancy or in the kraamweek, the period after birth, that whole period of welcoming a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it doesn't really work out the way you imagine it, and that can be very hard on women. And then I'm there to support them.
Yeah, and it's a work that you have only just started, right? You're just starting up, and do you want to tell a little bit why you started it?
Yes. Well, actually, before my first pregnancy, I was a bit struggling with my work and what I was doing. And I got pregnant and I found it so fascinating, the whole process. And I really felt like, okay, birth, let's go, I'm ready. I really want to do it and I'm excited. And then, a lot of stuff happened that wasn't nice at all, which was very, I just had a really medical birth within the hospital and it was really
It wasn't
hard.
what you were expecting.
No, it was very impactful. And then I felt like, okay, wow, this is really, really impactful and I want to help other women who experience this. And then I found opleiding.
Yeah,
a
you got
study.
trained.
Yes, then I got trained. And during my training, I found out that actually my reason was a bit deeper than my own birth.
Okay.
It was in, my relationship with my own mom. It wasn't
deeper.
It was a lot deeper. Yes, it was. There always was, a distance, which I couldn't really put my finger on what it was. But then I found out that the reason was because my own birth was traumatic. She had a trauma, and that really stood in the way of us, connecting.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my deeper reason. So it is my own birth with my mom and the whole relationship. And then, it sort of repeated when I was giving birth to my son.
Yeah.
But actually, I got the help I needed to get over my own birth. The help she didn't get, but she also needed.
Because 30 years ago, it wasn't talked about.
No.
It was birth's normal and get on with it.
And I mean, she talks about it that way, very factual. That happened, and it happened the way it happened. But it left a scar.
Yeah, and it left a scar for your connection with your mother.
Yeah.
That's something that I'm very into with my baby massage.
Mm-hmm.
Is that connection with your child.
Yeah.
And how important it is that birth. That starting relationship with your child, and if you've got a birthing trauma,
that I feel like a lot of women feel like you can only have trauma if it was really like medically horrible, or you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If something really bad medically happened, but that's not the case because women can also still think every day about one remark a person in the room said. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's also small, but it can still be with you every day. And I think if you just feel like your birth is in the way and you don't feel good about it,
then
that's enough to get some help.
Yeah.
Because in my case, it was medically horrible, but afterwards I felt like, okay, there's something there, a little bit maybe. But then I really looked into it, and then I only found how big it really was. So that's a bit of a nuance. I feel like if you think back to your birth and you feel like, okay, that wasn't nice, that's enough.
That's enough
to look into it. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then you help the women by how do you help them? Do you go to their house straight after birth, or a week later, or tell me?
Yeah, it does. It can be at whatever time. You know, when the woman feels okay, I need help. I want to look into it. It can be within the first week. It can be 10 years after. Doesn't really matter. When you feel okay, that birth, I feel that it still does something with me that I don't like, then most of the women come to me, and then we meet up. Usually, around 3 times is usually enough. Sometimes,
3 times.
Yeah, sometimes women need a bit more, but that depends a bit on the situation. And then, yeah, we talk. You know, on the surface it's just talking, but there's a lot
going on
behind it. And basically, I help them to connect to their birth, to feel their emotions, you know, to really, connect to what's happened and what's happened inside of them. Because if you connect to it, then it can come out, and then it resolves the trauma.
Yeah, and what if you don't want to? What if you've had like a trauma birth and something's happened, but you can't get to it, or you know it's there, but you don't want to access it because it's too painful, or because nobody will understand, or you should be having your wonderful time, and then why are you not having that wonderful time? And so what kind of tips would you give to get if you don't want to get to it?
Well, the first tip is allow yourself to feel that way, I would say. I think a lot of women go into, I have to enjoy this. My baby's here, I need to enjoy my baby, and I don't, and I sort of have to forget what happened to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And it is hard. I think that's also a big taboo still.
Yeah, I think it's a big taboo.
Yeah. But yeah, the first step is to allow yourself to have those feelings. And I mean, if you think negatively about your birth, it doesn't mean you think negatively about your baby.
Yeah.
So it can be a very separate emotion.
Yeah.
And just, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay if you don't feel good about it. It's okay to get help. And I think that, you know, a lot of women who get to the point that they feel, okay, I need help.
It's too far.
No, but I mean, if you go to your doctor, or to your gynecologist or whatever, most of them will advise you to get EMDR therapy, which is quite intense. And I think what I offer is a lot softer, a lot kinder than that, and just as helpful, maybe even more.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a really soft way to get access to what happened to you, but I mean, you have to get to that point. So you have to put something in yourself as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And do you also help the fathers? Because it could also happen that the father has experienced trauma,
definitely.
that he's seen things that he didn't necessarily want to see, or he's had to make decisions that he didn't want to make.
Yeah.
What do you say about that? What do you offer for that?
Well, I think what I offer can also help the father, but I would like to keep both separated, so I don't help couples in the same session.
Yeah, that's important, right?
I think that's really important because, you know, it happens a lot of times. It happens that maybe the father did something or didn't do something, or you know, that the mom wants to express freely and safely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a part of what happened.
And it could hurt the other person to hear.
Yes, so I think each person should feel their feelings separately first, because if that happened, then they can connect again as well. Yeah. But it can be hard to hear from the other one, like, sometimes the way the mother experienced it and the father is just completely different,
Mm-hmm.
and they have their own emotions.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And do you know, I'm really excited about what Kelly and me are going to do together.
Yes. Me too.
We're developing Make Your Birth Art. So it's going to be a workshop where you can come together or you can come on your own and express yourself without necessarily having to use words and without having that feeling of being judged or just having the room to be able to work the process, work it all out. Am I saying that right?
Yes.
And you can either come on your own or you come with your partner. And what's beautiful with the idea of coming with your partner is that you both work separately first on some kind of creative thing. And if you're not very creative, then you write a story or you do something that suits you. And then once you've done that, you look at each other's, and then you have that communication with each other.
Yeah.
And definitely sometimes it's hard to communicate with each other. So I'm really excited about
Me
that.
too.
We're going to be doing it, getting it up and getting it going and doing it regularly.
Yeah.
And maybe sometimes in Dutch, and sometimes in English. So I'm really looking forward to
Me
that.
too. And I think it connects to what you said. Like if it's hard to talk about what happened to you, and this is a really cool way to process it.
Yeah, definitely. Without making too much of a deal about it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Cool. Have you got one more tip for the mums that you think I want to just give you this? I just want to tell you this.
Yes, I think what always helps in any case, if you had a really great birthing experience or a really bad one or whatever in between, to just write about it, to write what happened to you. Also include how you felt during the time, that it happened. That's often a first step in connecting to it and working with it.
Yeah, and I give in my baby massage lessons, I also tell them to tell the story to the baby.
Yeah.
I think that's No,
I love it.
Okay.
I also tell it to women, but what I often hear is that there is a lot of guilt towards the baby when it didn't go as planned. So that can be hard.
Yeah. I have had it once that the woman was telling her story and she was saying, but it wasn't you. It was
beautiful.
Yeah, she was like, she was telling a story of why she felt things, why things happened, and she was like, but it wasn't you. I love you, and she was really connecting with her baby,
That's beautiful.
and that was so special to see. And it's not about me; it's about them. And she told the story, and that's why I'm a very big fan of telling your baby your story.
I am too, definitely. But sometimes the guilt is so big, that it's so hard. First writing it down, and in your own space, it's really safe to write it down. That can be a first step.
Thank you. Thanks for your time. And I will see you guys with the next Tiny Expert.
Thank you.